The second pattern of inheritance that we need to look at beyond Mendelian dominance is a pattern of inheritance known as codominant. When something is codominant, so if a dormitory is co-ed, it means that it has both male and female living in the dormitory. And so codominant is different than incomplete dominant. And let's look at an example again. Last time when I mixed the yellow parent with the blue parent, I ended up with a green parent because incomplete dominant is a blending in between the parents. When you have a codominant situation, it means that both are dominant, but there will be no blending. And so let's have our offspring again. So here I have my offspring. And I will go ahead and I will add my yellow parent. So I'm adding the yellow parent allele. Okay, so I have my yellow parent allele. And then I'm going to add my blue parent allele. And I'm not sure you can see what's happening. In this situation, I have an offspring that is both blue and yellow. So I don't have a blending in between. I actually get a codominant pattern of inheritance where both blue and yellow are equally dominant. And they don't blend together. They both get expressed. And so you have an offspring that is going to have multiple phenotypes or multiple colors, meaning you will see, in this case, the blue and the yellow. If this were an example of cattle, there are red hair and there are white hair. When a red male mates with a white female, you actually get what is known as a roan. And if you look very closely at a roan, you will actually see red and white hairs. Sometimes you'll see them as spots. Sometimes you'll see them as stripes. In flowers, we would see them as stripes in the flowers. So codominance occurs when both the dominant and the recessive, which it's not really recessive, because it's equally dominant. So we wouldn't really call it recessive alleles. Both the dominant alleles are expressed in a heterozygous offspring. And so when you have codominance, most of the time you also have what is known as multiple alleles. And multiple alleles mean exactly what the word multiple means. It just has more than two alleles. We've talked about alleles are different versions of the gene. Well, some genes come with more than just two versions. Some genes have multiple alleles where there are 3 or more. One of the perfect examples of multiple alleles and codominance is human blood type. Human blood type is a common example of codominance and multiple alleles because there are 2 types of blood, A blood and B blood, that are codominant. And so if an A-type female were to have children with a B-type male, there is a probability that they will have children who have AB blood type. And so if you look at the blood type here, you can have either A blood type, right there, you can have B blood type, you can have AB blood type, or you can have O blood type. O blood type is a universal donor. And so if you happen to have O blood type, you would be, it would be very important for you to one day donate blood because everybody can receive your blood because you don't make any extra proteins. You don't make these A proteins or these B proteins. So everybody can accept your blood. So percentage of ABO types in the United States, A and O are the greatest percentages, B and AB are actually less. even though B blood type is dominant. It's just a less common blood type. So let's take a look at these codominant situations. So here's an example. You have a man who is heterozygous, so he doesn't have the same allele in his genotype, but his blood type is B. And so here's the thing that you need to know. His blood type then would be B. If he's heterozygous, it would be BO. So this O is recessive. And so the O is going to get masked. So if this individual, this would be straight dominance, BO, okay? Has a child with a woman who is a B blood type. What are the chances that the offspring will have type B blood? Well, if we create a Punnett square, and if you notice in the Punnett square that they've created, they use these little I's and then a superscript. And that you can definitely use that. When we start to look at sex-linked, we will use the X chromosome and the Y chromosome. In this case, it's totally okay that we just use the A, the B, and the O. I think it's much simpler for us to do it that way. And so this parent could give the A or could give the B. This parent could give the B blood type or the O allele. And so their offspring could have AB, could be BB, so homozygous B, could have A blood type as a heterozygote, or they could have B blood type as a heterozygote. And so the question then says, what are the chances of the offspring will have B blood? Well, in this scenario right here, both of these are type B blood. And so type B blood would be 1/2 chance. Now notice this AB is codominant, and so they will actually express A and B, both of them together, just like when I mix the blue and the yellow, both are expressed in the offspring. Okay, let's do this problem. A man who is type O, so if he is type O, he has to have OO. Has a child with a woman who is heterozygous for A, so that means that she is AO. What are the chances that they have a child that has type O blood? Well, create a Punnett square. OO, AO, 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 and OO. So in this case, what are the chances that they'll have a child with O blood type? This child will be O, and this child will be O, and so they have a 1/2 chance of type O blood. Okay, so let's look at another codominant problem, but this time in cattle. Most of you have probably seen black and white dairy cattle around the state of Iowa. If we cross a black male bull, so a male cow is known as a bull, and its genotype would be big B, with a white female cow, a female is called a cow, big W, because the black color and the white color are codominant. What is the phenotypic ratio of their F1 generation? So if I'm going to cross big B with big W, I will go ahead and put that into my Punnett square. Big B, W, and you will find that 100% of the F1 will be black and white together, like our dairy cattle. Okay, let's say that we go ahead and we take 2 black and white cattle and we mate them together. well, what is their offspring going to look like? So we're going to take 2 of these cattle and we're going to mate them. So we're going to take a black and white male and a black and white female, and we're going to mate them together. And so if I put this into my Punnett square, each parent can give a B and each parent can give the W. You are going to find that the black and white, male and female, they're both heterozygous. It is codominant, so they express themselves as black and white color, just like this cow here. They actually can produce offspring in a ratio of 1 black to 2 black and white to 1 all white offspring. And so black and white cattle, when they mate, they actually can produce all white offspring, and they can actually produce all black offspring as well. Hope this helps.